Hi, this is Chris at Fusion Thermal. When we talk to folks about clip-ons, one of the first questions that always comes up is, if I put a clip-on in front of my day scope, will I get a point of impact shift? And the answer is most likely. And because of that, I figured I'd tell you why that occurs and how it's unavoidable in all clip-on situations. A day scope is actually a rifle scope within a rifle scope. There's an internal scope tube that you don't see. And so when you sight your scope in, you're moving that internal scope tube to a new position. Now in the clip-on, the day scope is not looking through the clip-on. It's actually looking at the back of the TV display inside the clip-on. We center the display with the optical system of the clip-on, but if the day scope is moved out of position when you sight it in, it's no longer looking at the center of the display. And that's how the point of impact shift occurs. Now, just because you get a point of impact shift doesn't mean you can't use a clip-on, because it's an easy fix. In fact, all you need to do is shoot the gun one time, put in the correction variables, and you're done. The system will save and memorize that correction to a gun profile. So let's take a look at how that works. The first thing we want to do is shoot the gun at 50 yards and then see where it's imprinting compared to your zero. Okay, let's take a look at this target. So the gun that we're shooting here is set up with a 200-yard main zero. So at 200 yards, when you shoot at the bullseye, it's going to hit the bullseye. What I want you to do is take that gun and shoot at 50 yards. Just like in this example, you'll see that the point of impact for a 200-yard zeroed gun is slightly below the zero at 50 yards. This is where your gun should be striking at 50 yards when you have a 200-yard zero. Now you'll notice that the second hole is approximately 1 inch high and 1.5 inches right. This is where the bullet struck the paper once the clip-on was attached. Now, we've taken a measurement where 1 inch high, 1.5 inches right. All we have to do is go into the menu, choose the third option called Point of Impact Fine Tuning at 50 yards, and input our correction variables. Let's take a look at the chart that's included with your Recon 55 and see what the correction variables are. The Recon 55 can save correction inputs for 5 different rifles. So the first thing we want to do is select a gun profile. You can see here in our video that we have selected gun profile 1. Now, we come to our chart and we know that our point of impact is a little high and a little right. In fact, it's 1 inch high. So we come down the shooting high part of the chart and we find 1 inch, or the number closest to it. And in this case, it's 1.08 inches. And if you move just to the right, you'll see that the correction input is -4D. We simply input that into the scope. Then we press the menu button and change from up down to left right. We consult the chart again. We know that we're shooting right about 1.5 inches. We come down the chart. We find the number closest to that. It happens to be 1.62 inches. And we see the correction variable for it is -6L. We simply press the up and down arrows until we get to -6L. Press the menu to select it and save. Okay, so now we've got our correction variables. We're going to move to the scope. So we're going to long press the center tower, which is our menu button, and up comes the main menu. We're going to use the down button to come down to gun profile. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you can save corrections for up to 5 different gun profiles. You can see here gun profile 3, 4, 5. Let's go back to 1. We're going to save this correction to gun profile 1. Select it with the menu button, Now here's where we go to POI, point of impact fine tuning at 50 yards. So this is why I asked you to shoot a target at 50 yards, because our correction is based on 50 yards. Now you can certainly sight the gun in at whatever distance you want, but we do our correction at 50 yards. Okay, you just noticed that the menu timed out. If that happens, just long press the center tower again and up will come the menu. Let's go down to fine tuning at 50 yards. We'll use the menu button to select it. And up comes a little screen that says press and hold menu button to save. This is just a reminder that you need to save these variables by pressing the menu button before you completely exit out or turn off the scope. And you can see that the first one that we need to put in is our left-right correction. Those are two arrows pointing left and right, and you can see the 0 indicates that there is no correction value in the device yet. I'm going to use the down button, and there we go, -2, -3, -4, and that was our correction. No, it was shooting right, and we are -6 for the correction. I'm going to press the menu button now that that's in. It changes to up, down. Going to press the down button to put in our -4. And if you had a positive number, you could just use the up button to get your positive number. So one way is up, one way is down for negative or positive. But we know our correction variable for this gun is a -4 up, down. So you can see I've got -4 there. If you want to just quickly cycle through and confirm, you press the menu button, bounce back. There I am, -6, -4. Okay, all looks right. I'm just going to press and hold the menu button to save and exit. And you are done. You don't even need to shoot another round, although I suggest you do just to build some confidence in your scope. But this system works exceptionally well. And now these corrections are saved under Gun Profile 1. Okay, so there you have it. If you have a point of impact shift when you put your clip-on onto your day scope, it's an easy fix. All you do is shoot one shot at 50 yards, input the correction variables, save it, and you're done. Time to go out and start shooting. Okay, that's all I got for you in this video. I'll see you next time.